Today we'll be learning about transportation of water through xylem. Yes, we know that xylem is the conductive tissue which helps to transport the water from root to leaves. Yes, now and the movement of water in the xylem is unidirectional upward. Yes, this we have learned in the previous session. Now you can see the diagram here. This is the root and this is the stem and this is the leaf. And here you can see the blue lines here. And this blue line is present at the center of the root. That is nothing but xylem, and which extend towards stem, which is also present at the center of the stem and which extend to the leaf. So this blue line is representing the xylem. Okay, the xylem vessels mainly made up of vessels and tracheids, okay, which is going to conduct the water molecules. Now we also learned that the root are provided with root hairs, many root hairs, thin hair like structures, okay, which we call it as root hairs, which increases the surface area of absorption. Okay, so here we are I represented only one root hair which is filled with vacuole, a big round structure you can see here, which is the vacuole. Okay, vacuole will have water inside. Now coming to the transport. Okay, now there are two types of transport which can happen in any living organism. One is active transport, one is passive transport. Now what is active transport? What is passive transport? Any transport against the concentration gradient. When I say against the concentration gradient, that means from low concentration to high concentration. Against the concentration gradient require energy. For example, children, you are climbing up the step. When you climb up the step, you require more energy than stepping down. Yes, children, the same way, if any molecule will move from the low to the high concentration, it requires more energy. So, it consumes ATP molecule, it makes use of the ATP molecule, and that kind of transport is called active transport. Active, it requires energy. Now coming to passive transport. What is passive transport? Passive transport doesn't consume energy, not much energy, because it is always from high to low concentration. It easily passes from high concentration to low concentration. So this you need to understand what is active transport, what is passive transport. Yes, now coming here, imagine that you are watering. This is representing the soil particles around the root. Okay, now you are watering the soil, okay, so that the plant get the water. So there is water, okay, which is also minerals will be present. There is water outside in the soil particles. Now this water, and here you have vacuole. This vacuole is also filled with water, because vacuole is filled with a sap which contains water. Now if you see the water will be very high outside and comparatively it will be low inside. So the water molecules will move from high concentration to the low concentration. That means it is a passive transport and it is simply by diffusion. So the water molecule enter from soil to the root hair. I'm not telling about root. I'm talking about the root hair. The water molecule enter simply by a process called diffusion. High concentration to low concentration. Now once the water molecule reach this, inside the root hair, the vacuole, it will pass from this to the next into the root. Now you know that the root or any part of the plant body will be made up of an outer cells which are called epidermis, and in between you have cortex. I have told you in the last previous session, it will have the cortex, okay, and after that you will find the center, the xylem vessels, xylem and phloem. Here we are talking only about xylem. Now this is the root hair with vacuole. So the water molecule will move from root hair to the root. root hair to the root. Now how this water will which entered from the soil by diffusion or through diffusion, it enters into the root. Now from here to here, how the water molecule will enter. Now here you can see the water molecules are here and it should enter into the epidermal cells. Now you know that every cell is made up, filled with a fluid called cytoplasm which contains water. Now the vacuole contains water and the epidermal cells which contain cytoplasm which also contains water. Now here you have to see why the water will move from root hair to the root, to the epidermal cells of the root. That is because, through a process called osmosis. We have learned osmosis in again class 9. Osmosis is the movement of water molecule from its high water potential to low water potential through a semi-permeable membrane. Yes, children, we have learned it. Okay, so what is high water potential? Simply understand that wherever the water molecules are more, there you have high water potential. Wherever the water molecule concentration is more number of water molecule, more water potential, less number of water molecule or less concentration of water, less water potential. So the water will always move from high water potential to the low water potential, which we call it as osmosis. Now the water molecule is here in the vacuole and there is a water in the epidermal cell. If you compare these two, okay, as the water molecules, fresh molecules are entering from outside, from the soil to the root hair, the vacuole is having more number of water molecule compared to the epidermal cells of the root. So what will happen? The molecule will move from high water potential to the low water potential. It will enter and it will enter into the epidermal cells. Once it enter into the epidermal cells, from the high water potential to the low water potential, again there will be a comparison from epidermal cells and the cortical cells or the cortex cells or the ground tissue. Now you have to compare this cell with this cell. If you compare this cell with this cell, you can see that water molecules are entered as it entered into the epidermal cells, and here the water molecule which are present in the cytoplasm is comparatively low, and here it is high because water molecule has entered into the epidermal cells. So this water potential is high in the epidermal cells, low in the cortical cells. So this water molecule will move into further from the epidermal cells into the cortical cells. So you can see here the water molecule is making a queue. It's like, it is lined up in a queue, and as it enters into the cortical cells, the previous molecule will move further and one more water molecule will enter into the root hair. From root hair to the root, it's just like how you move in a queue. Okay, the front person, when they move, that the next person will move further. So this is the way, the water molecule will be making a continuous columns, the same way the water molecules will move and it get entered into the xylem. I repeat, okay, the water molecule move from soil to the root hair, this is by diffusion, and from root hair to the root. In the root, first it enter into the epidermal cells, and this is by a process called osmosis, high water potential to low water potential, and from every cortical cells through this it will move and finally it will reach the xylem vessels. The water molecule will reach the xylem vessels. Once it reach the xylem vessels, it has to. Now, like this, you have to understand that there are so many root hair present. From every root hair, the water molecules will make a continuous column and finally reach the xylem, which form a continuous column. You can see here how it is forming a continuous column and it is going upward. Now the question is, once the water molecule entered into the xylem, how does it move against the gravitational force? Yes, because the movement is upward. It is in the upward direction. It is trapped from the soil particles into root air, then into the root, from the xylem. This xylem is continuous, so it has to move upward. From the root, it has to move to the stem to the leaves, like that it has to move. Now, how does it happen? This happen with the help of a particular process which we call it as root pressure. Now let us see what is root pressure. Yes, children? Now when it comes to root pressure, the name will tell you it is the pressure exerted on the walls of the xylem. Okay, by who is exerting the pressure? The water which is entering into the xylem exert a pressure on the walls of the xylem which is absorbed by root. That's the reason it is called root pressure. Pressure exerted by water molecule where it is finally entering into the xylem. So this is the xylem vessel and this is the water molecule, and this water molecule is exerting a pressure on the walls of the xylem. A pressure on the walls of the xylem, and that pressure is called root pressure. But it is called root pressure because of this pressure it creates a root pressure, because the water entering into the xylem create a pressure in the root, and with that pressure water molecule will move from high pressure to the low pressure, from bottom to the top, again from that place to next upward, from high to, so always it will move from high pressure to low pressure, and this root pressure keep the water molecules move upward, and you can see how the water molecule is forming a continuous column of water, and that pressure is called root pressure. Yes, children, so the root pressure is a kind of pushing force, because it is pushing the water molecule from bottom to the top. So it is a pushing force which make the molecules move continuously through the xylem vessels till it reaches its destination, till leaves. So this is how it will help in movement of water in xylem. So one of the force is root pressure. Now coming to the other one, children, you have to understand there are plants which are very, very tall. Think of eucalyptus, think of coconut, okay, coconut tree, or any plant which are very tall. Now this root pressure which is acting from bottom to the top will not be sufficient to make the water travel to that length, to that height. That is not sufficient, because root pressure, there is a limitation how much it can exert the pressure and make it to move upward. So what is the other force which help in the movement of water molecule in the xylem? That is the another one which is called transpiration. We know already, we are very familiar with this word transpiration. Now what is transpiration? You all know that the leaves lose water through the stomata. In the lower epidermis it will have stomata, and the leaves will lose water continuously to the atmosphere, or it evaporates water into the atmosphere. This loss of water is called what? Transpiration. Okay, now what you have to understand is this is forming a continuous column, okay, and coming like this. Now, once the water molecule is evaporated into the atmosphere, into the air, this molecule is moving outside. This molecule will first pull the second molecule into it. So, it is pulling the second molecule that also get evaporated. Then it will pull the third molecule, because it is forming a continuous column. So, there is a suction force is getting developed, or a pulling force is getting developed. Okay, just like how you take cool drink through a straw. Now when you take the cool drink through a straw, you know that how the suction force is created and how the drink will enter into your mouth and you sucks that straw, right? The similar way here a suction force is happening. The molecule will start transpirating, and as it gets transpirating, it will pull the next molecule, which will develop a pulling force. It is a force which is called pulling force, which will help the movement of water towards the leaf and from the leaf to the outside. So there are two forces. One is the pushing force, which we call it as root pressure, pushing force from bottom to the top, and the other one is called transpirational pull or pulling force. For smaller plants, this is enough to make the water move upward. But when it comes to tall plants, this is not sufficient because the height is too high or maybe it is too tall. So one more force will come into help in the movement of water, that is transpirational pull. So these two forces will act together and help in the movement of water through the xylem. Yes, children, I will show you certain pictures so that the concept will be clear for you. Here you can see here, this is representing the root here. These are the soil particles. From the soil particles, the water will move into the root here by a process called diffusion. From here, this one is representing the root, the anatomy of root, the internal structure of the root. Here you can see the outermost cells are the covering tissue is epidermal cell. You can see the thickness of the root, that is cortex. Then you can see two more layer. This is just representing endodermis and pericycle. You don't have that much in detail. And these are the pipeline, which is xylem. You can see here these dotted pipelines, which is representing the xylem. Now you see the movement of water here. First the water will move from soil to the root layer through diffusion. From there it enter into the epidermal cell through a process called osmosis. Okay, the water enter from high water potential to low water potential. As the water's concentration is high in the root layer, it will move into the epidermal cells. Okay, once it will enter into the epidermal cell, it will enter into the next cell with the similar way. That is from high water potential to low water potential. It will move like this, continue. You can see the arrow mark. It is representing the water molecule. The water molecule will continuously move and finally get trapped in the xylem vessels. Here you can see the xylem vessel. Here from the xylem vessel, the water will move upward. One more picture I will show you. Is that clear, children? You can see here the soil particle entering into the root hair to the epidermal cells, epidermal cell to the cortical cells, cortical cell to the finally into the xylem, which is at the center, and it will take the water upward with two forces, root pressure and transpirational pull. One more picture I will show you. Yeah. Here you can see, children, see this. You can see the water in the soil. They have given a flow chart to you. Water in the soil, enter into root hair to the, they did not show that epidermal cells, but remember there is an epidermal cell. Epidermal cells, can you see? Yes, is that clear? So it is into the cortex, cortex into the xylem, xylem to the upward movement to the leaves. Leaves will lose water through transpiration. Here you can see the movement of water molecules also towards upward movement. It will move like this and go upward. Yes. Now one more. Here what you have to understand is, this is representing the picture the xylem vessels. You can see how the water molecules are moving through the xylem. You can see the water molecules are moving through the xylem, and you know that when it make a continuous column of water, blue dots, that is representing the water molecule, and here they have shown the 1, 2, 3 water molecules separately. Here you can see, I told you the water molecule make a continuous water column from roots till leaves. Now here you can see there are two types of forces are acting on it. One force which help the water molecule to stick together and make a continuous column. Okay, one force is called adhesive force or adhesion, and another one is called cohesive force or cohesion. Adhesive force and cohesive force. Let us see what is adhesive force, what is cohesive force. When it will form a continuous water column, the attraction, the force of attraction between one water molecule with another water molecule which bind them together, that means attraction between similar molecule is called cohesion, which help the water molecules to bind with each other. Then where is it forming the water column? In the xylem vessels. You can see it is forming a water column in the xylem vessel. So the force of attraction between the water molecule with the xylem vessel, you can see the xylem wall here. So there is also should be an attraction between the water molecule with the xylem vessel which help the water to move through the xylem vessel. So the force of attraction between xylem molecule with the xylem vessel or the xylem cell wall between dissimilar molecule is called adhesive force or adhesion. So there are two forces which help in the movement of water molecule and making it a complete column of water. Attraction between similar molecule, between the similar water molecule which is called cohesive force. Attraction between the water molecule and the xylem vessel through which it is flowing, and that force is called adhesive force or adhesion. So two physical forces are helping the water molecules to move, cohesive force and adhesive force. And the mechanism is root pressure, which is the pushing force, and the transpirational pull, which is the pulling force. So with this, the water will move from roots to leaves and the leaves perform photosynthesis. Yes, children, I hope the concept is clear to you. Okay, you can always, in our interactive session, if you have doubts and any concept is not clear, you can clarify your doubts.